What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of SuperKamiCast. We're back again with David and Aaron. You've already been introduced. I am SuperKamiGuru. Obviously, you made your way to my channel. And welcome to another hour of bullshit. So, guys, what's this week's bullshit?
Well, we're gonna be sitting here talking about how games have been becoming, I guess, more realistic, right? You guys want to start off on that or something else?
I don't really know. To level with the audience, we are recording this right after the last one, so a lot of this shit's probably just gonna run together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, last time we did movies and TV shows and stuff that were like really shitty or really good. So, like,
I mean, the beginning subject was pretty shitty. Yeah.
he has jokes.
Hey, get out.
The door's over there.
Okay.
So you guys ever played any like really shitty video games?
Oh. So, you guys know, fucking. Not Sunset Overdrive, but like it was one of the first games to come out on Xbox One. What was it called? Damn it. Hold on, I'm gonna look up its name. I have the game, but like I'm stupid and I don't know where I placed it. So like, give me a moment.
So Aaron, any shitty games?
So, there was this game I played on PS2 not too long ago called Summoner, and at first it looked pretty cool and it sounded pretty cool. It was like an RPG where you and your party are like fighting against big crowds of enemies and like an active battle system, and you summon different types of monsters to fight them off, and like you had to be strategic about it, because if one of the monsters died while you had it summoned, like you have to substitute part of your own HP in order to get the monster's HP, and if it gets killed, you lose that amount of max HP. And I was like, whoa, that's super fucking hype. There's like this cool ass dude with like a big fucking minotaur on the front. I'll suck this game's dick. And I bought it, and I immediately regretted every decision in my life that had led me to that moment. It was like, ugh. Games.
The only games I've ever really hated is if you ever play. I had a GameCube, and I think it was on the GameCube. There was this Pokemon game, and I was like, oh shit, Pokemon for the console and not for a Game Boy. That's awesome. And I get it, and it was like there was a Pikachu, and that was it. The rest of it was all like plush toys, and you got to play random ass game shows. And there was only like one game show.
You mean Pokemon on TV?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
That game, it was so shitty. It was so awful. Like, I hated every moment. I was like, oh, sweet Pokemon. And I put it in and start playing it. I'm like, what the hell is this? It just immediate regrets because it was no actual Pokemon fighting or collecting. But I think that's like, I don't think I've ever really played any other horrible games other than that. Unless, David, you find the name of your game?
Yeah, I found it. I found the game, Scream Rider, right?
Never heard of it.
Scream Ride. Basically, it's basically like a roller coaster creator for Xbox One, and all I've got to say is that it's pretty shitty, because like I got it because I thought it was gonna be one of those ones that's just like you create like, what was that game called, like Thrillville, I think it was. You guys know that game?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thrillville, Off the Rails, or whatever.
Yes. yeah, that game was pretty good. All right, I enjoyed that one for like DS and stuff. But like I thought this like game called Stream Ride was gonna be like sort of like that. No, fuck no, dude. It was only like basically create your like very possible, like very possible ride of some sort, and then you have to like physically be able to ride in it. You can't like not be able to ride in it, unlike Thrillville rides and shit like that. So like I felt so stupid because I'm just like I loved it. I thought it was gonna be like Thrillville, you know? No, fucking.
Going like opposite side of that subject, a game I found this random PS3 game one time. Somebody brought it. You ever played Splatterhouse?
Oh, I've heard of that game, but I was never able to play it because I couldn't find a copy of the game.
Dude,
So good.
when we first got it, what did you say? Did Aaron say something?
I said it too.
So, like, have you played it?
I have not.
I actually own a copy of the game.
Oh god, I've got to go over to your house once just to be able to play it.
It was originally an arcade game, like a side-scroller, 2 buttons and a joystick game.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they still keep some of that in the game, but, like, with the first person I knew that got it, he got it and brought it home, and he's like, oh yeah, dude, try this, check it out. And it was actually, like, very cool because it was very gory type stuff, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, there's a wisecracking mask throughout the entire thing, so it was just amazing to me. We get it. The first time we bring it home and play it, we got, like, halfway through the game freezes and stops working.
Oh my
So we
god.
take it, put it in the box, take it back to GameStop, get a new copy, which for some reason it made us restart, but we get a new copy of it from a different GameStop, because each one, they only had one apiece. Bring a different one home. It does the same thing as soon as we put it in. It freezes and stops. Then we took that copy back and go to the third GameStop in town. Got it from there, got it, did the same fucking thing. He took it, like, broke it in half and just threw it away. 3 times that game froze.
You guys just got horrible copies of it.
It was actually-
I've seen the game all the way through because I watched a person play through the entire game, and I really wanted to play the game because it looks so fucking cool.
I got it, and it's actually pretty fun to play for a PS3 game.
You know what game I really wanna like play hours upon hours on?
What?
You guys heard of that new game called like Moonlight or something like that?
No.
Hold on.
No.
It's sort of like Plants vs Zombies, like garden survival, only it's like here's zombies game. Hold on. I'm stupid because I keep forgetting names. Games.
David, you reminded me of Plants vs. Zombies. I love Plants vs. Zombies on DS. I played I don't know how many hours of that game. And the the mobile game with all the microtransactions and pay to win bullshit in it. Fuck that game.
I always saw
Yeah,
Plants
I didn't
vs.
like the second one.
I always saw Plants vs. Zombies, and I was like, nah, dude, that game looks retarded. I will never play it in my life. Downloaded it on mobile one time when I got a phone, a random smartphone, and I was like, let's try it. And I played the first one. I was like, dude, I love this game. Downloaded the second one, and like the second one did all the microtransaction shit you're talking about. And I was like, well, you had a good run of one video game for me. Like,
So, David, while you're looking that up, basically, like, you know, like when you're a kid and like basically you can only really play the games that you have. You just gotta like make do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my parents didn't really know a whole lot about video games or what to get me, so when I was young, I'd just get like licensed games, like based off of cartoons or animated movies, and I didn't know any better.
Oh
Like
boy.
on PS2, I'd have Open Season and Over the Hedge,
Oh my god.
and on GBA, some Jimmy Neutron game that was fucking trash, like Fairly Odd Parents game, Teen Titans game. That one was okay, I guess. in these Power Rangers games, like Time Force, Ninja Storm, and some other bullshit. I remembered them being like really cool, but I looked them up not too long ago, and they have legitimately some of the most hideous, lazy fucking ever seen in a video game. It looks like somebody who like fucking Michael J. Fox went into like Microsoft Paint and tried to draw a picture of the Power Rangers.
I found it way off, by the way. It's not called Moonlight, it's called Days Gone.
Oh yeah, I have heard of Days Gone.
That game looks fuck. You guys seen any of the graphics or the gameplay at all?
I think I saw one video on Facebook of gameplay.
Like it at E3, and it looks like the graphics are perfect, and it's supposed to be an open world game. It's gonna kind of look like you know how like it was told that like Fallout had some minor bugs, and it turned around and it had like few thousands of bugs, right?
Oh, the zombie game.
Mm-hmm. Days Gone, man. I can't wait to be able to get that game. When does it come out again? Like, couple months? Few? I don't know.
I was not at all disappointed by the new Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I took a look at that and I was just like, holy hell, dude, that looks great.
I played a few of
wish I could.
I played a few rounds on it, and it was good. Like, I loved it. I was just like, dude, I remember playing this back in the day, like when my parents still knew how to play video games. Back when it was PlayStation, and that was the furthest they ever went. And then, like, they're like, what's the X button again?
I was more of a Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper guy.
I don't know about Sly Cooper, but I did like Ratchet and Clank.
Unfortunately, I also had the spin-off Agent Clank, in which Clank becomes a secret agent.
Don't ever play through that.
I always
Play Sly Cooper instead.
I always remember
I
messing
played through the. Go ahead.
messing with you. I'd mess with David. He would talk about, dude, yeah, I love Ratchet and Clank. Did not have a problem with Ratchet and Clank. Since I've seen more about it, I actually love Ratchet and Clank. But back then, just off the names solely, they had the most perverted names ever on purpose. And I was just like, dude, you're playing something to do with, like, ass every time.
Ratchet and Clank up your arsenal. Ratchet and Clank going commando. Ratchet and Clank fucking size matters.
Yeah, it was always dick or ass related.
It kept going too. And then you had Into the Nexus, which actually had like not really a perverted name because you couldn't put it like Into the Nexus into really a perverted name. But like Tools of Destruction, fucking really? They just wanted to keep it going for as long as possible.
Like
and then you had the spin-off. You had the spin-off between Into the Nexus and wait, no, not Into the Nexus. Between Ratchet and Clank, Clank in Time, and even though it's supposed to be a crack in time, there was versions that said Clank in Time, which was pretty funny. But between a Clank in Time and Tools of Destruction, you had Quest for Booty.
Did you guys ever play any of the Jak and Daxter games?
I did not. Did you know they're remaking them?
Oh my god. Are you shitting me?
I didn't know that. I would like to get the... Well, I never had a chance to get that.
No, they're
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play the new.
they're remaking Jak and Daxter because of Crash Bandicoot.
I would love remakes of those.
And then they teased at making a new Spyro.
Yeah, they aren't going to make a new Spyro. They already ruined Spyro after coming out with the stupid Skylanders shit.
I want the Sly Cooper trilogy on PS4.
I would love for there to be another Sly Cooper game because they ended it so stupidly. Did you play the fourth game, by the way?
No, but I think I guessed how it was gonna end, and I was right because I looked it up.
So okay, spoiler alert for those who don't know how
Wait, let me guess if I'm right.
Okay.
Okay, so what was the name of the fourth Sly game?
It was fucking something to do with time.
It's like Thieves in Time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So anyway, the first game, Sly Cooper and the Thieves. He's talking about how there's been like generations of his family where they're all thieves, but nobody knows who like started this shit. Like nobody knows who the original ancestor is. I'm like, oh my god, is Sly Cooper gonna go back in time, Grandma?
What the fuck?
Like, is he gonna go back in time and become the original Sly Cooper?
Okay, no, see, there's where I stop you. Okay, so how? Spoiler alert! Like I'm gonna say that line like already. So during the final boss fight, right? It goes to show that kind of blown up by the main boss's time machine, right? So they find the main boss and put him in like a very, prison-like area, bullshit like that. However, Sly's body, like basically nothing of Sly except for his cane was found, right? So they tried and tried and tried. They even like searched fucking everywhere, right? And they could not find a hide nor hair of Sly, right?
Yeah.
So apparently, though, from what they get though, is that Sly was sent back like far beyond points in time, and they think that he was sent to the point where time just doesn't stop ending. However, people are thinking, quote unquote, that they're going to make another game, right? And they're going to basically set it to where you are right, by the way, Aaron, that they are going to set it to where he is the original Sly.
Fucking called it. He fucks
which-
with Grandma.
But who says it's his grandma though? Maybe he could have been sent to the future.
Well, no, but like he has to be his ancestor, or his family doesn't exist.
No, don't you understand though? If you remember correctly, right? He grew up into the in the present, right? With his friends Bentley and Murray, right? However, it doesn't tell us. Like, it tells us about his parents, okay? But it doesn't tell us what, like, his parents or where his parents lived or, like, anything along those lines, right? It just tells us that he was born on a certain day, and that's it.
I thought he was an orphan.
No, his parents
What?
died trying to protect the thieves Raccoonus.
He's
No.
an orphan.
No, he's not an orphan. Because he's his own grandfather, you know? It's a fucked up timeline. There's no orphans when you fuck your grandma.
Oh my god. Alright, let's get off the subject before people start raging.
Did you know if you collect all the trophies, there's a secret ending in the last one?
Are you making this up or is this true?
Nah, dude, there's a secret ending that shows Sly waking up surrounded by the wreckage of Le Paradox's blimp in front of a jackal-headed temple and pyramids in ancient Egypt. It was a hint as if they were going to make a sequel.
So,
Oh, wait. So he was to, what's his face this time? One of his ancestors. Forgot his name.
his grandma.
Off the subject now, alright? Bad.
Anyway, David, I've got bad news. Because you know how they were gonna, like, make that Sly Cooper movie?
Yeah.
Well, apparently the Ratchet and Clank movie sold, like, really bad, so it says, due to Ratchet's failure, the company would have to reevaluate the timing, release plans, and budget for Sly Cooper.
No!
Alright, I know we're on the subject of games, but just because we're on movies, do you know what fucking movie comes out next month?
No.
The horror
Wait,
movie of all horror movies?
It?
Yes, the first half of the remake of It.
Wait, they're splitting it in two parts?
Yeah, now instead of being a 4-hour fucking movie, it's gonna be 2 hour and a half movies.
Ugh.
The next one,
Thank
yeah, that's what
God.
sucks, is the next one is not gonna come out until like 2018, 2019.
So they're going to end the first part in a cliffhanger, and then they're going to just wait.
Well, it's not exactly a cliffhanger, just watch the original.
Calling it now. It's gonna go back in time and fuck his It grandma.
Oh, God damn it.
Nah, dude, he's busy with them Asian women in his area. The hot single
Okay.
Asian lady.
Okay, back on the game. Back on the normal games, please.
wait, we gotta explain before you call racism to the Friends fans here. Aaron keeps getting targeted by ads. Aaron, would you like to tell the story?
Alright, so pub ads, you know, it's like, hey man, you're our millionth visitor. Click right here, and we definitely won't rob you. But recently, I was greeted with an ad that said, like, meet hot single Chinese in, and then it has the name of the town that I live in. And I'm thinking, you know, that's kind of creepy that they can figure out where I live. But I'm also thinking, if their technology is advanced enough that they can, like, figure out where I live just based on, like, suggestions from things I search, you'd think they'd be able to have, like, personalized porn for everybody instead of just guessing, like, maybe he likes Chinese girls, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Like for David, it should say, like, Sly Cooper 5 leaked, and he clicks on it and it steals all his money.
Whoa. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I wasn't that big of a fanboy of Sly Cooper, alright?
No, you were more of a chum chum.
I was... Kill yourself. just no. Just
Congratulations, Clayton. That's the only good thing to ever come out of this show.
If you guys didn't watch the first SuperKamiCast, then you don't get the joke.
Shows aside, okay. The whole point of that though is like the It movies, right? 4 hours though for a fucking movie.
I don't. Was it actually 4 hours though?
I'm 90% sure. Hold on, let me check.
I think it was just like 3 hours, so it was a front and back disc.
I don't know, I like the original.
I wonder how many people took back the original movie. Like, dude, only half the movie's on here because they didn't know to flip over the disc to play it on the other side. Like, you guys remember the discs where it's like, oh, dude, that's only half the movie, and you flip it over, and the other half's on the actual other side. You're just like, what?
Nah, I always had VHS growing up.
Well, the DVD
Same
version of it, once you got like halfway through it, like through the children's part, when the adult part went to start, you had to take out the disc and flip it upside down.
I got really scared by that one scene in It where it's like, you know, where adults or whatever, and the girl goes to visit the guy, and he's like, he doesn't want, just leave me alone. How am I supposed to know if it's you or just that damn clown? Where it's like, that scared me more than the part where they had to go into the cave, because like after that I'm just thinking, what if my mom is a clown?
Oh my God.
That reminds me, I messed with one of my cousin's shit one time. He comes up to me and he says something to me, and just to mess with him because I know he's that impressionable, and he's only like a year younger than me. He says something to me and I was like, nah dude, I'm not real. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, none of this is real. You've been in a coma since you were 6. And he's like, dude, that's not freaking funny. He's like, I don't know if you're telling the truth right now. I was like, just wake up and you'll find out.
Did you like grab his shoulders and be like, wake up?
Dude, I messed with him for like a week after he come over, and he's like, He's like, oh, ha, ha, I didn't wake up. And I was like, no, you're still in the coma. You dreamed that you slept. It's only been 2 minutes in real life time. And he's like, shut up, that's not even funny. I'm like, the whole last 10 years of your life has been a lie. I was like, I'm not even real. I died 3 years ago.
What you should have done was you should have set the clocks back. Clocks should be set back like 3 hours. And then like he's just say, "Oh, dude, see, you're envisioning 3 hours ago."
Dude,
What?
another prank. You say that setting clocks. You remember when Conjuring first come out?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the clocks all stop on like 3:17 or whatever, or something weird.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
We were down in Texas at my cousin's house, and there's there's 4 of them, but 3 of them are like guys, and they were closer to my age. But the oldest one's friends come over and stay the night, and we're trying to mess with the one, so everybody else in the house is in on it. We turn off all the lights, set all the clocks to that time, so all you can see is digital clocks set to that time, and we're over there, like, we have one person hiding clapping, and we have another person flicking match, starting it like in the movie. And then we had somebody laugh and run through the living room. The greatest part is they're trying to sneak up and scare this guy, so he's behind the couch, and this guy's knocked. They wake him up, and he sets straight up, because they clap real loud in his ear, and he sets straight up and just straight, like, chest punches the crap out of the guy, and he's like, oh, dude, it's us, we're joking. He's like, yeah, I know it was you. He's like, I'm not dumb, I've been awake the entire time. He's like, I just wanted to hit you. Just lets us set up this entire, like, mischievous trap. We have all these things set up, and he just stands up and clocks the crap out of one of them.
I can imagine that working too, though. It's sad.
You gotta be... go for it.
You gotta prank somebody. You gotta be like, you're in a coma, your mom is it, and your grandpa's Sly Cooper.
God,
You're your own grandfather. You must go back in time and fuck your grandma.
Like, David's gonna have a nightmare where he's gonna like one of the ones in movies where you wake up like 3 times. Like, first he wakes up and he's like a clown, and then he wakes up and he's like a fucking raccoon.
Aaron, no, just no.
No, dude, I'm psyched for that new... Have you seen the trailers for the new It?
Yeah, that's all there is to meme about and gif about.
Dude,
Like, little kid.
I saw the one where he's like in the storm drain.
Yeah.
I love the part where they're in the flooded basement and he runs across the water shaking his head. Like, he's shaking his head back and forth screaming while running forward at the child, and it is looks scary as shit. Like, I would literally have a heart attack if I went to the theaters. Like, I have medical called out there, like medical diagnosed anxiety, and I would have an anxiety attack right there in the theater to see that.
I want to see this now. Hold on.
They come out with a new one, a new trailer, and there's this clown room, and I knew it as soon as I saw it. He goes in the clown room, one of the children does, and there's all these clowns around, and one of them's like head turns and follows him, and he walks up to this one clown setting up on a pedestal, and it jumps up, and it ends up being the guy who plays It. So it's Pennywise the clown setting up on this pedestal, and he comes up there and he just jumps off and runs at him. And I was like, dude, I would literally like go back to SuperKamiCast 1, because that's the moment I'm gonna shit myself.
Here's the kid in the storm drain. Where's the flooded basement one?
Like, you can't tell it's a basement. It looks like they're in the sewer. As you see the clown's head, you see just like his nose and above. And then he comes running.
Oh, okay. I just saw the storm drain part.
Yeah, it's like it's after that in the trailers. If you watch have you watched the actual trailers, like through?
Whoa, what's with the balloon?
There's one. If you've watched The Children, it's hilarious when he's talking about. He's like, "No, seriously, I'm starting to itch," and he's like, "Do you share a bathroom with your mom?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Then you probably have crabs."
Oh my god.
I was like, that kid is a genius. He's like 10 years old, and he's now my favorite actor in the world.
I don't really like watching trailers from going to see them, especially since I saw the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon 2 and it ruined the movie.
Wait,
That movie was sad.
Like, I don't like that movie anyway, but like, I would have liked to not know what happened.
what the hell was that about?
I'm psyched for Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I know that they're gonna have budget for the second Deadpool, but I kind of liked how certain scenes in the first one are so shitty. Like when he goes to the X mansion and is just a fucking away with a great sword.
Oh my god, that looks terrifying. What the fuck?
Did he run?
I just saw that shit. That is so fucking creepy. I want to go see it. When's it in theaters?
It comes out in September, but if you're like me and have a certain device that shows you things early, non-illegally, I get to watch it before it comes to theaters, usually.
Hey Clayton, what?
I take complete deniability. I did not say that. Nobody ever heard it.
Okay, quit. I'll ask later. Let's go back to the conversation at hand.
Wait, if it's like a two-part movie, wouldn't you have to have 2 anxiety attacks?
I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer for the second half because it's not even started yet. I legitimately, in Conjuring 2, wasn't even because of the movie. I don't know why. I was just at the theater and I had an anxiety attack. So everybody thought I was scared of the movie. I'm like, nah, dude, this movie's pussy shit. I just had an anxiety attack for no reason.
I think the only time I've ever had like anything close to like any sort of like medical condition that's really hurt me is when one time I was at Holiday World, I think it was, right? And like it was during the big, I think it's the big drop or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You guys know that? So it was during that, and it was going up, really wildly, and like afterwards, like after the ride was over, they shut the really weird. So I don't know, but like I started like jerking really badly back and forth, and then it started like feeling like it was going to fall completely down without like stopping point. So like I started like really hyperventilating up there because like it's not because I was claustrophobic. It's because like I was trying to like I was so fucking afraid. But like so when like the moment we got to the top, they immediately started lowering us back down, and then they took us all off and they said we've got to do some quote unquote maintenance on this ride. So I swear that there was something wrong with that ride at the time. I just don't know, man.
I hate having to explain it to people. Like, people would be like, yeah, I have anxiety too. Like, my stepsister. It's easier just to call her out that way. She says something the one day. She's talking about going to school her freshman year, and I said something about having anxiety is one of the reasons I dropped out. And she's like, yeah, I have anxiety too. I'm about to throw up because I have school tomorrow. I was like, no, dude, that's called having butterflies in your stomach. You haven't had anxiety until you tunnel vision, and the only thing you can see is a pinhole, and you're about to fall on your face.
Oh god.
Dude, I was riding my bike the other day. I have a mountain bike, and I was riding it up this hill by my house. And I was riding down, no reason, I think I just got out of breath, and it freaked me out because I couldn't breathe. But I get to the top of this huge-ass hill, and I go down it, and I can get my bike going real quick going down it. And I'm like midway down it, leaning over the handlebars, hanging down to the ground, almost scraping the road, going extremely fast. And I'm like dragging that. I can hardly see anything but like the line on the road. And I'm sitting there dragging. Greatest neighbors in the world. Everybody just drives right past me. Nobody stops, see if I'm okay. Finally, I stop at the bottom of the hill, throw my bike in this yard, and just lay there. Those people didn't even come out to see if I was okay. Everybody that drove by just kept driving. I was like, thanks, you guys are great neighbors. Thanks. So I just I had to call my mom to come pick me up. And she's like, where are you? I was like, I'm just right down the road, but I had an anxiety attack, and like I can't even walk. She's like, okay, I'll come pick you up. And then I'm like, yeah, so when you have anxiety and feel like you're gonna throw up, I'd like you to have some real anxiety. Like, you would think I should be one of the #1 relatable YouTubers because I have anxiety, diabetes. I've been really fat and then lost a lot of weight.
Just, just it's weird how people believe like it's so easily to live with like certain disabilities, but then you sit there and you actually take a look at what people go through with certain disabilities.
I will not even kid you. I told my girlfriend this because she's diabetic as well. I'm sure you guys know. But
Yeah.
I told her the first thing I did because I found out I was diabetic in January of a year or two ago. And I was like, I found out at the doctor's office because we're going to the doctor's office and I've been having a bunch of, like, I dropped like 100 pounds in like 3 months. So I go there and I'm just like, yeah, on the ride, I'm like, yeah, I'm diabetic. I've looked it up, and Mom's like, no, you're on WebMD. Everybody who goes on WebMD, like, you get on there, I'm coughing, you have cancer. like that's usually true by WebMD, but like all the symptoms, I was like, no, I'm diabetic. And so I go to the doctor, and like I have a very foreign doctor, so it's hilarious because like the #1 thing he always tells me, because he's like Taiwanese or something. As soon as I go in there, first thing, you are very fat. You need to lose weight.
Oh boy. No racism.
Yeah.
I would like to. Yeah.
He's not a hot single Chinese in my area.
I used to have a doctor who had like a really thick Indian accent.
No, dude, this doctor tells me, he's like, you are diabetic, and then like after I've dropped, keep in mind, I dropped 100 pounds in like 3 months. That is a lot of weight in a short amount of time. Dude tells me, yes, and you weigh, cause I weigh like 220, still a pretty hefty guy, but he's like, yes, you weigh 216, so you're still fat, but you're less fat. And I'm like, who taught you how to be a doctor? Most people are like, yeah, you're a little overweight. No, he's like, you are fat. You have a bunch of excess fat. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I like pizza rolls.
It's just, oh god.
But
It's so stupid.
the first thing I do after I get done, he's like, yeah, you're diabetic. I get in the car on the ride home. My mom's over there like about to cry because I'm diabetic. I'm like, you act like I'm dying. So I get on my phone and I start looking at things. As soon as we get home and like some other people come over, I start cracking jokes, and she's like, that's not funny. And I'm like, no, that's literally, as soon as we left that doctor's office, I was looking up diabetes jokes. Like, it's okay for me to make them now because I'm diabetic.
See, it's legal now, basically.
Yeah, I have the diabetic guy seal of approval, like Marcel from Vanos has the black guy seal of approval.
See, it works out.
I had like a weird trip to the doctor a while ago, cause like seemed really serious at all at the same time. Told him I'd been having this really awful pain in my back and my shoulder whenever I try to, play my instrument, and he's like, oh yeah, you've got scoliosis. What's that mean? Well, you see how your shoulders aren't level with each other, and your right shoulder out like that? Yeah. Well, your spine is crooked. What does that mean? Nothing really. It's like, well, can you fix it? No, there's no cure. What's gonna happen? Well, if it bends too far, your rib cage could like start to crush your lungs. I'm like, really? That's gonna happen? No, there's a surgery you can do to fix it.
But.
Because you can have mild, moderate, or severe scoliosis. I've got moderate, and in like a couple months I'm supposed to go back, and if it severe, they're just a piece of metal and right.
It's so weird. Like, what the fuck?
So it's like this condition that does absolutely nothing,
But does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to visit the doctor now. I want to see what else we can crack up here. God damn.
I actually don't want to go to the doctor anymore because I'm afraid he's going to tell me there's something else wrong with me, and I'd rather not know.
Yeah, no shit. I said that I went to the doctor one time, I had something else wrong with me after I'd already found out I'm diabetic. Like, I had something really bad happen, and my mom's like, yeah, you gotta go to the doctor. I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor. She's like, well, what if you die because of what you have? I'm like, I'd rather not know I'm gonna die. What if they can't fix it and I'm gonna die anyway? I'd rather not know. And she's like, you wouldn't want to know so you could live it up? I'm like, no, let me live a fucking normal life. I want to kick over while trying to watch Family Guy, not skydiving.
Like you go to the doctor and he's like, I'm sorry, you have 1 month to live. Really fat.
I told Taylor the other day. I tell her, she said something about being old, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna live to be 102. She's like, you can't just decide when you're gonna die. I'm like, fucking watch me. I was like, challenge you. I was like, watch, I'm gonna live to be 102. She's like, you gotta do a lot of healthy, like, exercises and eat healthy and all that. And I'm like, nah, I have willpower. I'm staying alive. like I got this shit.
Do you guys ever watch The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
I did. I loved that show.
Let's talk about the
Do
wonderful
you
things
remember
about.
the episode where there was that old guy that Grim kept trying to kill, but every year he'd go to check up on him to see if it was his time to die yet? The guy never did anything but eat healthy and exercise, so he kept getting an extension on his life.
Yeah.
I remember that episode. That was such a stupid episode.
So the whole episode, they're just trying to trick him into eating junk food so Grim can kill him.
It's like they tried so hard.
I love when you see those pictures. It'll be like, why is everybody so scared of the Grim Reaper? He's just walking you to the other side. What if you had to do that alone? Wouldn't that be scarier? I'm like, yeah, usually if you're going to use that approach, could you not have a fucking dark robe and hold a giant blade? Just saying.
I think if you remember correctly, though, right? And like, if I remember correctly from lore, Reaper only has like the scythe because some people to like stay alive, and so he wanted them to go peacefully and not, have not suffer,
I'm just saying, like, there's nicer ways to look if you're gonna come walk me to that. Like, I ain't scared of Grim Reaper. They don't bother me. You come up looking worse than that, I'll walk to the other side with Freddy Krueger for all I care. But, like, you think people would be a little less scared of you if you weren't a walking skeleton in a black robe holding a giant fucking blade?
Yeah, I could be the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted 2.
That's true.
Oh my.
Dude, I love Bill and Ted.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Aaron, were you the one I made all the Bill and Ted jokes with in school?
I don't think anybody else we know has seen it, so probably.
Excellent.
No. I cracking so many of those jokes that I started. It got on my nerves. Remember? And then
Remember when your mom was a senior when we were freshmen? Remember when I asked her to the prom? Shut up, Ted.
Yeah, I remember. Like, I got so sick of you guys like making those. Cracks.
Whoa!
And
Now
then
your
it's
dad's
like,
really going for it in your own bed.
Shut up.
Dude, that just occurred to me. That wasn't even you. It was Aaron. I'm gonna bleep out his name because I don't want people knowing his last name. But it was the other Aaron, dude. It's me and him. We played Bill and Ted in Miss Jackson's class because she would always yell at us. Aaron, I'd be trying to do schoolwork, and Aaron keeps bugging me. He's like, hey, and I'd just look over and I'm like, Jesus Christ, shut up, Ted. And he'd be like, hey Bill. And I'm like, I just scream random things at him. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Or he'd say something. He's like, isn't that a little weird? I'm like, strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Oh my god.
That is one of my favorite movies because they're stoners, but they're not stoners. It's Scooby-Doo, but in real life. Like, it never says they're stoners.
The Scooby-Doo movie.
It'll-
Stoners too.
Oh my god. Isn't that the second movie? Like the second real life?
Nah, dude, when they go to Spooky Island on the first one, they're in the back of the van. He's like, we don't ever go to something. He's like, or hydrocolonic. And he's like, but that's for a whole different reason, man.
Oh, I remember that now. Holy
David,
shit.
remember, there's all smoke coming out of the back of the van, and they open it and they have a
Yeah, I
grill
remember
in
that.
there making burgers.
I remember that. We all thought that they were just getting high. Fuck.
Nah, Bill and Ted get away with it though. Like they even, I don't think anybody ever really pays attention, but you learn so much stuff in the very first, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They're teaching you history, and you don't even know it. You just think it's about two stoners collecting people from history for a history report.
They teach you to party on and be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.
Oh my god.
What's the other?
Looks like a-
What's the guy's name that brings them the phone booth? What?
Rufus!
Oh my. Okay, looks like I got something to watch after this is done.
Dude, if you want to watch, I kid you not, watch both of them. You have to watch Excellent Adventure, then Bogus Journey.
Are they still on Netflix?
I don't know, but if not, I got you, man. I got them on DVD.
I seriously have to come over now.
Dude,
have to
I
watch-
seriously, I sat at home alone all the time, and I'm like, I need friends, and I'm like, nah, all my friends are computer shut-ins. They'd never come over.
See, I can quite possibly come when it's like Saturday or Sunday, right?
The only thing I ever have to watch for is if me and Taylor are gonna hang out.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm literally like always open.
Freaking great. One of these days I'm gonna have to come over now because I want to watch those. God damn it.
All right, but you can't make jokes about my bedroom.
What jokes? Do you not realize that every guy has like shit strewn around their room every?
No, not because it's dirty, because of the things that are in it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, but okay.
Well, one wall has a bunch of pictures of Taylor and me.
Okay, that's fine.
That's kind of girly. Another picture looks girly because it has a bunch of stuff from Taylor, and it all is girly stuff. And you can't make fun of my toys that I have up on my shelf.
If they're action figures, then they're fine.
They're not action. Well, I mean, they kind of are. Have you ever seen those '90s like 2-foot tall Ninja Turtles made out of rubber?
Yes.
I have two of those, and then I have a Rey Mysterio made out of the same crap.
God damn it. That's great.
Now, in all fairness, just so you know, this is actually for some views here, but this is true. I got the Rey Mysterio from a child who happens to be disabled.
Oh.
The view factor, I actually wouldn't pimp the idea that he's disabled, but I did get it from him.
God damn, dude, though.
Oh shit, Bill and Ted isn't on Netflix anymore.
Do you guys not have Fire Sticks?
No. My
Do you-
internet doesn't.
Wait, you guys are talking at the same time. I'm gonna need...
I was going to say, though, like, I have yet to get better internet yet. I still have this shitty...
Aaron, what did you say about the Fire Stick?
I have a Roku. I'm gonna check if it's on Amazon Prime.
Do you pay for your Roku?
No, it's built into the TV.
But do you pay to watch stuff on it?
No. I
Wait,
mean,
how much does a...
some of the channels are free.
The
Wait, how
My
much is
Fire Stick is special in ways that I would not legally say. Therefore,
Wait,
I get movies early.
Oh, that's the... Oh.
That's how I will watch it in like August.
God damn it.
I know somebody who makes them for like $60.
Oh.
Well, it's like $40 for a Fire Stick and like $20 for him to make it.
Yeah. So how long has this recording been going on, man?
48 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, we still
So
got
still have 12 more, 12 more minutes at least.
pretty much.
Alright, what else do we have to talk about besides amazing movies that I don't know about? Or not amazing
I don't know, but you know what I just thought about, Aaron?
Yeah.
I'm Luke Bill, and you're not my father.
That's a reference to Star Wars. I know that, but it's from Bill and Ted.
Okay,
I
so
feel so left out.
I just found both of the Bill and Ted movies are on Amazon Prime Video, so I will be able to watch them.
Oh boy.
Whenever you guys watch it, since I'll probably be out of town, we can just get on Skype or whatever and watch it at the same time. We'll synchronize.
We all have to start it. It's gonna be like, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. Start the movie right now.
Sync. 3, 2, 1, sync.
At exactly soon as the number flips from 7:59 to 8, you hit play.
Just watch.
I'm still kind of saddened. I haven't watched the other half of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 yet. Like, I watched the first half, and then my Fire Stick quit working. And then,
I
like,
haven't seen the newest one yet.
I haven't
I
watched
saw
the
it
second
in
half.
theaters.
I still haven't watched the second half.
What,
I
Aaron?
said I saw it in theater.
Damn it! I'm the only one in this group that hasn't seen it.
Well, in all fairness, I've only seen half.
Well, apparently Brody's seen it with his girlfriend several fucking times, and like everyone else has seen it. I'm just like the only one that hasn't.
I liked what I watched of it. I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Just I Am Groot, the tiny version.
Shh, let's not talk about it.
Fucking adorable.
I don't even have to explain to anybody. Just anybody who's ever watched one of my videos knows that that's my ringtone. I don't think...
Because it's all you hear in
I think that is my main joke. I think Taylor just knows when I'm recording and she texts me, and just so every video there's an I Am Groot.
It's a requirement, man. You have to have it. We have yet to have it in this recording yet, though. That's good.
I Am Groot is your ringtone.
The baby Groot. It's my notification tone. It's not my ringtone.
What's your ringtone, David?
Mine is just like pure rock music. I don't even know what it's from.
That's not my ringtone, dude. That's my notification tone. I had to set it as something short because people get pissed off when you have something long. If it's longer.
Like my whole song of 3 Days Grace, fucking what's it called? I Am Machine.
If my notifications sound like I used to have the professor from Futurama, it just said good news everyone every time I got a message.
Good news, everyone.
Yeah, people got pissed. They're like, dude, that's so annoying. So I was like, all right. So I switched it to this whistle thing, and everybody's like, that's annoying too. So finally, I'm like, I am Groot, and they're like, that's annoying. I was like, I don't even care. He's fucking Groot, and he's gonna tell you.
He's adorable, and he deserves it. All right, fuck off.
No, my
Everyone being evicted.
my actual ringtone is like, it was Country Boy by Aaron. Aaron what? What is his name? Aaron
Yeah,
Lewis? Nah, dude, it's Aaron Lewis. What is it? I think I downloaded a new one the other day, actually. We're about to find out. Well, maybe, maybe not. I thought I did. No, apparently I didn't download one the other day. I got it off Zedge. So, there wasn't much to choose from.
Who was it that I told everyone about that? I was the first one to ever get it, if I remember. I remember telling Brody, and then I told Aaron, like tall Aaron.
I used to use a website called, like, Bongo Tones, and you could get anything you wanted. You just search it and send it to your phone through text message.
Well, Zedge is like exactly that, only it's just immediate, you know?
I use Zedge to
Zedge,
find video.
it's not very good for, like, country ringtones.
Well, yeah, but its basis is just like, it's there, you know? It's one of
Yeah.
those kinds of things. But so yeah, I have to seriously get up to your guys' knowledge on shows and stuff. I haven't been doing much
All right,
other than
Aaron. What
watching
else
it.
does David need to catch up on old TV shows?
Hmm. What show did you tell him to watch?
Bill and Ted.
That's a movie.
Have you guys seen Jane and Silent Bob?
What is that?
No.
You ever watch Clerks?
Nope.
Do you guys know who Kevin Smith is?
Yes.
Yeah, I know who he is.
The comic
He's
book
that
guy?
guy from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in Jane and Silent Bob Strikes Back, and it's literally a good portion of the movie is them. Somebody makes a comic book about them. They go to stop it or get the money from it, and they find a monkey along the way, and the monkey gets stolen. So they have to save a monkey at the same time as stopping a comic book movie.
The heck?
Sounds stupid, is actually amazing, but it's kind of like rated R because like literally in the very beginning, there's a song that's just like, it just says fuck, fuck, and it's like fuck, fuck, motherfuck, motherfuck, fuck.
Oh boy. That sounds like an excellent movie.
It's
Holy
a
shit.
Kevin Smith plays Silent Bob, so he doesn't speak hardly in the movie. So he'll like, the monkey gets stolen by this car, and he's trying to tell him to check the license plate, and he's like pointing and doing a square with his fingers, and he's like, "What do you want me to toss a salad?"
Oh my god.
And he's like, what? He's like, you could say something like when we're eating at a restaurant, ooh, there's some good cheese fries, but you can't freaking speak now. So he just like grabs him and he's like, the sign on the back of the car. It's got some hilarious moments in it because it's so bad, but great.
So bad that it's good.
Dude, they do a Star Wars joke. Kevin Smith and the other guy that plays Jay, they're in the Star Wars like comic book scene because they're Blunt Man and Chronic because they're weed heads.
Oh boy.
And they're fighting with lightsabers against a guy named Cockknocker, and he has a really huge hand. He has this really huge hand, and his name is Cockknocker. And he's Star Wars lightsaber battling them. And Silent Bob, he's dressed like Batman. He's got like all black in an overcoat, and he's got his hat has the little points on it. And he's like, he looks over and gives a look at the lightsaber, and it starts shaking. It flies to his hand. And I think Chris Rock is the director of it, and he's like, holy shit. He's like, that's not in the script. And he catches it, and he starts going up and like chops Cockknocker's hand off.
Oh my god.
Okay, so if we're talking like really old movies, I love like old shitty monster movies, like where people dress up in costumes and fight each other, like Godzilla and that crap.
Oh my god.
And one of my personal favorites is King Kong versus Godzilla. There's
Wait, didn't they try and remake that movie or something like
no,
that?
they haven't done that yet.
Speaking of King Kong, have you guys seen the new one?
No, I haven't.
I loved it.
When I come over to your house, that's all we're going to be doing is just watching movies. God damn it.
Dude, I thought about that one day. Taylor was saying something about Natalie because it's her best friend. She's like, yeah, she's my best friend. I was like, I don't think I really have a best friend. I was like, if I had to go on the list, it would probably have to be David just because I've known him the longest. I was like, but I was like, I was
known
like,
each other since like elementary school days, like very.
yeah, back when you had a mullet and a jean jacket.
Oh, let's not talk about that, please. Oh god, those moments were horrible for me. My dad just dressed me up as this mini person.
Dude, he was miniature Miley Cyrus's dad. He was miniature Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh god. No.
He had a mullet and a jean jacket.
Oh my god, I'm terrified of my old
That's
younger
probably
self now.
back in the day.
My parents.
I heard from the newest King Kong movie, because you know how they did Godzilla and everybody really hated it, but King Kong come out and it actually had good reviews. The people who made the new King Kong are gonna remake like all the old monster movies.
Oh.
So they're gonna do like King Kong versus Godzilla. They're gonna do their own Godzilla. They're gonna do, I think, hopefully they do like Mothra versus Godzilla, stuff like that.
Oh god, I miss those old movies. Like I remember watching them on tape at my grandma and grandpa's house before, they kind of, because they needed to They had to clean house. I'll just say that.
You know what movie? Go for it.
Speaking of King Kong versus Godzilla, my favorite fucking scene from that movie is there's a part where they're on the island with like the tribe where King Kong lives with the native people, and the village is being attacked by these giant octopi, and it's like them running away from a green screen where they're like, it's making them look tiny, and it's obviously just a little model house made out of wood that they have an actual real life like normal sized octopus crawling on to make it look like it's a giant. And there's a scene where King Kong shows up and starts fighting the octopus, and it like quote unquote leaps at him, and it's clearly just like a fucking stuffed animal come which wrap to make it look slimy.
So, Aaron, did you say you haven't seen the new King Kong?
No, I didn't.
Dude, you got it. You gotta watch it. You're talking about the octopus fight. You would love it with today's special effects.
No, I like it because it's shitty.
No, I'm just saying, like, shitty version is funny, but this actually looks badass because it has today's graphics.
There's a part where it's like the villagers can play this certain King Kong just from destroying their village. So King Kong is in the city, like smashing buildings. Some scientist guy who's just like, someone bring me my drums. And he just gets out like a fucking set of bongos and starts beating on it. And then King Kong starts getting all dizzy. And the scientist like grabs some random guy off the street. He's like, help out, why don't you? My arms are getting tired. And then this random guy just starts beating on the bongos with him.
Alright, a bit of a spoiler alert. This is the only thing I'll spoil for you guys because you haven't seen it. But in the new King Kong, you guys obviously, have you seen the trailers with, it's got the guy who plays Del Doback in Step Brothers?
Yeah.
It's got him in it. And the only thing I'll spoil for you is this one part. It's my favorite part. He's like cutting off his beard with a knife. And he's like shaving. And one of the soldiers in it come up to him and he's like, he says something to him. And he's like, I'll freaking kill you. And he's like, look all psycho in his eye. And he's like, dude, are you serious? And he's like, nah, I'm just messing with you. Or am I? And he's like, he's laughing and then he just stops and goes serious face and looks at him. Just stares him like right in the eye. And I was like, dude, this guy's the comic relief and I'm dying right now just because I can imagine messing with somebody. Like, dude, I'll freaking cut you. Are you serious? No, I'm just kidding. Or am I?
I really like the last King, the Peter Jackson one.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Trying to think of any other old movies. Like, I grew up watching one of the favorite, I think it was it's like partially cartoon. One of my favorite things I used to watch all the time was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I remember that.
Got that on DVD too.
Oh, I've seen that so many times. I can't get enough of that movie. It's fucking great.
The only thing, go for it.
I didn't know how good it was. Like I'd heard that it was good, but I never actually watched the whole thing before. When I watched it on Netflix, I was like, man, this is like the movie that I've wanted. I didn't know I wanted. Space Jam, where it's like Space Jam, but it's actually a good movie instead of being a bunch of dumb bullshit about basketball.
The only thing I can say I did not like about it is it having it on DVD with the play menu. I would play it when I'd go to sleep, and I'd never learned to turn my TV down.
Oh boy.
So no, like it wasn't loud, but the play screen has the car from it. You know, the taxi.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's inside of him, and he's like, just constantly over and over while I'm trying to sleep. I just keep hearing, so where are you going? The movie theater's nice this time. Where you want to go? What's your plans? Where you want to go? What are we going? I ain't got all day here. And he constantly repeats the same things over and over, and I wake up to it. I'm just like super pissed off about it because I keep hearing the same thing over and over. And I'm just like, dude, are you serious? Can you please just stop? And I'd wake up and like you have to click on movie theater to actually watch the movie, so I'd just keep waking up like every 2 hours to click play just because I didn't want to hear him talk anymore.
know from like the last few times that we talked that you haven't seen War Games or Full Metal Jacket.
I have
Nope,
not
haven't
seen War Games, I don't think.
Have you
War
guys
Games-
seen Small Soldiers?
Is that the
Isn't that
toys?
one- Yeah, the toy.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Have you guys seen Good Morning Vietnam?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Old school Robin Williams.
Yeah, okay, I definitely seen that one then. Yeah. My mom, like, the moment she heard that Robin Williams died, she brought out, like, a whole box full of, like, old movies, and we just sat and watched them all day.
Speaking
Like,
of
that's all we did.
old Robin Williams, have you guys seen the new Jumanji trailer?
No, I haven't.
Have you, Aaron?
Yeah, I'd rather go watch Zathura again than watch the new Jumanji.
Oh,
I'll take a look at it here in a
all right.
minute.
I would like to start out with this. Most people are gonna hate on it because it's not the original. I see it as this way. Same way with the original, with the new Ninja Turtles, Michael Bay's form. I didn't like it with the Ninja Turtles, but on its own movie basis, it's okay. But Jumanji, on its own movie basis, not connecting it to the old Jumanji, it looks like a badass movie. Connecting it to the old one, it looks retarded. But on its own basis,
Okay.
the new Jumanji looks freaking amazing.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a look at.
Aaron, you can't tell me. Do you just not like Dwayne Johnson?
I don't know.
Like, I immediately was dying of laughter when Dwayne Johnson comes in from that little white guy to that big Hawaiian right there. And he looks over at his bicep and just pokes it like, what is this?
So, that reminds me. Have you guys ever heard of a movie called Congo?
Congo?
Yeah.
No.
So it's this movie about these people, like they're these scientists or whatever, and they get trapped in the jungle, and there's some virus that's making all the monkeys go berserk and kill people. And in the book, they had to use these like diamonds to make some type of like radio signal that knocked out all the monkeys. But by the time that the movie came out, that radio technology was like decades old, so they were like, what the hell are we gonna have them do with the diamond? So they just made them use the diamond to create some type of like laser cannon that they used to saw the monkeys in half.
Please tell me you guys have heard of the Netflix movie Rubber.
Yes.
The tire.
Yes. The possessed tire that comes back to kill people.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Wait.
I'm just gonna check what I've watched on Netflix and see if there's any movies you guys need to watch.
Well, before we get on to that, because we could still talk or whatever, but we're at like just over an hour. I think we ought to go ahead and wrap up the podcast, SuperKamiCast.
Alright.
David,
Alright.
I believe, hit up his Twitch on the last episode. I don't think he really would care to do it again unless you just want to.
Nah.
All right, well,
First.
you can catch Aaron and David. Go watch the last episode if you didn't see it already. You watching this episode should be a week after the last one. Hopefully next week we can have somebody else on. Not saying David's not a good guest, but, you know, can't keep playing the same three guys.
It's nice to have. Yeah, I was about to say it's nice to have more
I mean,
people. You know?
if David would like to join for the next episode, that's all cool. But anyway, we'll see you guys on the next one. If you like this, go ahead and like it. If you want to see more of us, subscribe. We will be posting weekly if we can, depending on everybody's schedules. But we'll see you guys in the next one.